Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another adventure. Down here today on the outskirts of Torquay, a little place known as Barbican, and we're away from the crowds. Sunday morning, sun is out, and the boys got their shorts on. I had to put trousers on today. I was out yesterday and got absolutely burnt legs. But here today for one particular reason. We're down here today not to get a tan. We're down here today to go for the Zulcron rod range. Now we've got two rods on the range, and to be honest, I'm a big fan. I've got to say it. I got the chance to cast the big boy of the versions of the range of rods, and fell in love with it straight away. I mean, for me, big fan of the M427 SU, same as Adam. It's a rod we both use over the years, and to be fair, I didn't think I'd fish with anything else. Last couple of years, I've actually fell in love with the T900s as well, which are very nice casting rods as well. But after getting the chance to use this rod, I am in love with it, I've got to say. The benefits for me, it's a lot lighter than the SU. Tips to equals tip sections, which is always nice, and the power in the rod and the castability of the rod is superb. So Adam's been down here first thing this morning, and he's had one cast so far, and I can see by his face he fell in love with it. Adam actually went for a different version of the rod, so I went for a pair of the big boys, and he's gone for the lighter version, which he wanted for Chesil Beach and stuff. Because obviously he's got his SUs and stuff, but I think after he's just cast that rod now, we'll let Ava speak with him, but I've got a feeling he's probably going to go for a pair of the big boys, because they are absolutely fantastic rods. But cast up to 300 gram, but we're going to go through the big boy version of the rod of the series first, and we'll go from there. But Adam's just, I think he's sorting his reel out from when he's bird nested a few weeks ago or something. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he's putting line on his reel some reason, but I'm sure we'll go into that in a bit later on. But yeah, let's get into it. Geffen Durham XT. So we got the XT435. Geff Durham does his first cast, not a pendulum caster as such. You like more of an overhead thump, didn't you?
Yeah.
You've created your own sort of style over the years. How did you find that to what you normally use?
It's lovely and light.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got some power in it as well. Lovely one, man.
Here we go. So, guys, here it is. The Zulcron XT 435, casting weight 300 grams, length 14.4. So, equal sections, bands. This is what I've had actually built by the company itself, and it just looks sexy. I've got to be honest. That's the only word for it, is sexy, because it is. It's very light, and yeah, for me, it's perfect. It's gonna. When I go fishing, I want something that's going to handle big rays, big eels, big anything what I can pull up, and I've got the capability and pulling power in the rod to handle it. So if I need to lift the fish and in big swells and stuff, it's going to do it. And for me, this is it. The M427 SU was a rod which over the years it done the job which I wanted it to do, but it was and I still love the M427, but it's very heavy, and it's when you're fishing out some times in the past years, I've been out 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week, and you're fishing with that rod all the time. It is quite, like, you know what I mean, it's a heavy rod. You get used to it though, where there's nothing to it. It's very, very light. With the setup of the dowel, which Adam's got set up on it today, we used one of Adam's reels today, casting reels, to better fit the extra distances and make sure we got smooth running reels, to be fair, because most of mine is set up for fishing at the end of the day. And yeah, so I'm going to go and give it a little pace up through now, and see how it goes.
camera almost.
So that was Adam's casting. I knew you would love it.
Yeah,
Tell me your face.
absolutely awesome it is. I spoke to Jay about it.
Yeah.
Well, quite a bit recently, and I've only been on that one there, the light. First day on this one, and it's brilliant. I love it. I love a poker light.
Soon as it reminds me of the SU.
It's very similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are differences though, 100%.
Lightness.
Lightness.
Equal tips.
Yes, that's going to be advantage, especially when you're going abroad.
Pokiness of the rod.
Pokiness, yeah. It's just a real nice finishing rod. It's the recovery on it. It is lightning fast. Really,
Definitely.
really good bit of kit. And I know that it's been doing, very close to 300 yards already. I think Phil Jones had one just under 300 yards last week on the light that was, but this is going to go well over. I know Jamie Blakeman's on them. Yeah, they're going to be the new thing, 100%.
One thing I liked about it, when we sat down with Jay, the owner of the company, up at Bridlington, and the knowledge, the background. I mean, a lot of these guys will do the casting, and I've been working with these like leading brand companies who have been around for years and developing rods which people have been using. Obviously, a lot of the Century range, a lot of the Ziplex range, and such and such.
Well, it's only ever really been Century and Ziplex that
really
have done,
in that range,
and and this is by far up with that lot, 100%. I've got on really well with that one as well in the last few months.
Yeah.
And there is a hell of a difference between the two, and they are both really nice bits of kit.
Yeah.
This one is definitely a poker.
Yeah.
That's
why I've gone for it. It casts 300 grams. That will do anything I want it to
300
do.
grams. I mean, I wouldn't. It's just a huge amount of casting weight, there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to.
You get a cast an 8-ounce lead, no problem. That's to be honest,
what's
for a lot of the
chances?
guys going up on the high.
That's 10 ounces of lead.
Yeah, it's a lot of lead.
That's a huge amount.
It's sometimes you need it. I mean, not necessarily a lot of the venues I fish, but some of the venues I fish, like
Whole
7 or 8
mackerel,
ounce lead you can get away with. But I know Geff Durham, for example, some places that you fish a lot, you
whole mackerel going out.
a lot of cast 10 ounce leads. You know what I mean? Depending where they're going and stuff like that. But it's a rod that would do everything. You'd be able to use that for anything you wanted in the UK.
But it's value for money though.
Yeah,
that's
what I was pleased with, because obviously when we sat down with Jay, one of the main things he put across is when he was starting the brand up, he wanted to have the quality of a rod which was affordable to a lot of anglers. Now I can go on my phone, I have done already this morning, and you look at some of the prices and a lot of the rods, which I won't go and slag any brands off because I'm not here to do that at the end of the day. I think a lot of the established brands, obviously the rods can speak for themselves, the quality in them and how they've progressed over the years. But what I would like to say is that rod there is up to spec with anything was available on the market now.
Anything.
For half the price. Now I know, I looked this morning and there was rods there for 650 quid each. So you're looking at £1,300 for a pair of rods. Now, for the likelihood of those of us what take our angling seriously, I know for myself and you and Geff and that, we've all done so in the past. But is that, especially with the way of the increase in rise with obviously costings and everything going on at the moment, it's a lot of money to spend out. And for someone who wants a new set of rods, 1,300 quid is a case of some people buying a car. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money where you've got a rod with the same capability and I think the development in it for half the price. It's a rod which...
It's literally half the price.
Yeah,
as well.
and it's got all the main features as you would in a top of the range rod. And for me, well, as soon as I cast it, I could tell. At the end of the day, you're buying a rod which has been developed by guys who know what they're doing. You know what I mean? A lot of these major companies, they don't know what they're doing themselves. They're relying on the likes of Adam, Jay, and a lot of the other big style casters to go through it. You've done a lot of development over the years with a lot of the big style tackling companies. And that's one thing I liked. And he did. And when we sat down with Jay, he said that's one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to get a product up there what's going to cost the end of the earth, and like people going to cost people fortunes. I want to see these rods in a lot of guys' hands, and that's what he's there to do. He's trying to help people at the same time, which is good. And I think he's developed within the. To be honest, that's the only rod. As soon as I cast that rod, I fell in love with it. And I've gone
it's
for
a pleasure to cast, isn't it? It doesn't beat you up.
I've sold my SUs, I've sold my T9s, and that's what I've got for all my fishing now. For me to do that, especially where you've got that one rod for the minute for Chesil, which I'm looking forward to casting.
Obviously they're totally different. That one there is a C curve action, and this is a J curve.
See, for me, I don't.
You like the J curve?
I like J curve, well, definitely. I just find, like, even going back through the likes of like the HSTs and stuff. When I first started fishing. Many years ago, like Primo Synchros, more so the HSTs are preferred because, especially off the rocks and that, you've got all the power going up with only the tip going over. And I find with the C curve, you don't get as much backbone in the rod.
Yeah,
you get more poke in that.
There is more poke in this, 100%. Yeah,
but depending what you're going for.
Yeah,
like I do a lot of rock fishing in the past and stuff, but obviously if you're C curve of rods, a lot of people like the C curve. Nick's a big fan of it, isn't he? But got a little dog running around. But all right, we'll let Adam go in for a few more casts now, and then me and Geff have a little play, and then we'll go on to the next rod.
Yeah.
I knew he'd fall in love with it. It's very similar to the SU in my eyes, it really is, but it's got better features, obviously, like we just talked about. But I love the lightness, I love the power, and I love the recovery in that tip. For me, it's perfect. You know what I mean? And like we just talked about before, at exceptional, probably bargain price, if you want to say. It's a lovely rod. I'm over the moon with it. As I said, as soon as I got back, I put my SUs up for sale, and I ordered a pair straight away. So it's one of them at the end of the day, guys. It's nice to see the technology developing over the years with the weightness of the rod. You know what I mean? Because back in our day and age, some of the weightness and heavinesses of the rods which were available, like the SU at the time. The SU, in my eyes, was one of the best rods ever made. I mean, especially for specimen type of fishing. I mean, I know guys would use it for everything, place in, sole in. You could do the tip of section. I know it was a big rod, but you could use it for everything, and that's what I'd done, to be fair. And then, obviously, over the years, then I started going into different rods and different tips. And to be honest, glass tips I like a glass tip for the Bristol channel. Fast flowing tides and that, it has a peaks and the benefits. But for a lot of the ray fishing and type of the fishing that I was doing, the SUs were what it was. And for me now, especially getting older a little bit as well, the lightness of the rod as well is what I look for. And the diameter and that. Adam's going to come over now. Go on then, second time.
I love it. It's
really,
really, really nice. I tell you what, I'm not just saying this, but out of all the rods I've cast, that is something else.
As soon as I cast it, like I said up there, I've said to you straight away, I want a pair, and I got one.
It really does put a smile on your face.
Yeah. It's a special bit of kit.
Yeah.
For what they're charging as well. Is you've got a rod, a bit of equipment there. For the money.
I mean, obviously, these last few casts, it's the first time I've cast it, isn't it?
Start getting into it a little bit now,
but they are something that's special. They are really, really nice. And I just imagine that they're going to be a fantastic fishing rod as well, especially for the skate and
everything
abroad or anything. Bristol Channel, they're going to be great for the channel. Yeah. What a rod for the channel, eh?
Perfect.
Yeah, they are something else. I'm definitely going to get a pair of these.
He's on there now, I knew you would.
No, I will, 100%. Like I say, I've been using the light there for a few months now, and I've got on really well with that. Really, really well with that. But I like this one more. it suits me more.
I'd use that for everything.
Yes, I would. No, and it's got a lovely tip on it as well. It's
lovely tip. You use that for placing.
You can use that for placing.
Soling, codding, everything. I've got one job. I've got one rod now for every type of fishing I'm doing. Bristol channel, if I want to go channel, if I want to go toping, if I want to go eeling, you could use it for anything really.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I really like the light as well. You know,
I've been play with that in a minute.
Hitting that as hard as I can last few weeks, and it's effortless. It loads so much easier. I mean, it loads easier than that, but that's
we'll have a play. I'm gonna have a quick cast on that, and then we'll let Geff have a little play again.
Yeah.
We'll put this one away then, and then we will go on to seeing what the light's all about. But yeah, guys, very nice bit of equipment. Right line. I got into that. That's nice. It is a lovely, lovely rod, guys. I'm not just saying it. What I would say for anybody what's looking to have a play with one of these is to go to a casting event, because I'm guaranteed 9 times out of 10 there's going to be one there which is going to be able for someone to use. But if someone's down this neck of the woods, southwest, and they do want to have a play with one, get hold of me and Adam, and I'm quite happy to come down and let you have a play on the beach, one of the local beaches, or whatever, an evening. Adam would be the same, I would have thought. Not every single night of the week. But, you know what I mean, if there was a couple of people wanted to try it, maybe it's something we could arrange on a Sunday morning or something to meet up and come and have a go. It is a very, very nice bit of kit. It's a lot easier to load than the SU. It's always a foot placement. He's right. Where we are, we've got to go onto the rocks to be able to cast. And Adam's found a bit there. For my way I swing the lead back, I think my lead would hit the tree. But, yep. Let's see if he can hit that dry line now then. Right, we were going to go on to the other rod, but because I hit the dry line, he's got to prove a point, isn't he? So he's there. We're not leaving here now until I've hit that dry line. That's what he just said to me. It's a lovely bit of banter going on as normal, but yeah, for me, I got into that one there then. But it's hard to cast off the uneven surface. So Adam, where he's gone, he's got a nice rock where he's stepping back on, but for my layup on my swing, I prefer more room back. I'd be worried with the lead in the bush, but he's going to try and get that dry line now. Let's see how he gets on. Geff, you?
Come over here, yeah.
That's nice. Oh, he got into that one. Whee, he got into that one. He wouldn't have him when we beat him today, was he? Got it? Yeah. He's gone and done it straight away, isn't he? Well, you live and learn, But I ain't going to keep up with him anyway, guys, if I'm totally honest.
I'll let you know when the line goes wet, Andy. That's where you are, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. He gets me on the casting, but when it comes to fishing, it's the opposite way round. Whoop! His legs went all sweaty then. I can see the sweat pouring from him. So please let me beat him on camera now, please. No, fair play. But very nice bit of kit, boys. Very nice bit of kit. It's gone over and all three of us will have a little chat now on camera, and then we'll go on to the next rod. Here we go. So Geff's going to have another chuck here then. Very little effort, it goes out a very long way. It's the joy about it. It's a lot easier to load up than your rod, I bet, isn't it?
The lightness, I can't get over it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay guys, so the Zulcron XT 435, casting weight 300 gram, length 14.4. Overall view.
it's something else, isn't it? It's I really like casting it. It's a weapon.
Lovely rod to cast. It can't go around like there.
Yeah.
Compared
Very,
to other
very
rods.
light. Very light. Very quick recovery in the tip. The lightness and the power for me is for anybody who's looking for a rod which they want to do 95% of their fishing with, that would do everything, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Would you go skating with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Toe pin, perfect.
Rated to cast 300 grams.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That's-
perfect
that's
for
a
toe
lot of
pin,
lead.
isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
lot of lead. Lot of lead. I mean, a lot of the rods you're looking at when they're like 200 gram, by the time you put a 7-ounce lead on the mackerel, you need that extra. You know what I mean? If you're cat tope fishing, you've got 7-ounce, 8-ounce lead in the mackerel, you need something that's going to be able to cope with that.
Yeah.
And that is perfect for it. I mean, it's got all the features on the rod. It's got the butt cap, nice real seat, obviously shrink chewed up through.
Lovely
The
build.
build is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, they do different colour builds. I've gone for the lime green. I just think it brings out it just looks sexy. It's got the ring caps on the end. A lot of the rods don't do that, and I think that is an extra finish with the rod, what I would look for. And to be fair, you look at some of the rods available on the market for 650 quid, that would look in along with the lines with it.
Absolutely.
100%. And as we spoke about before, with technology that's gone into building these rods, you're not getting that from anywhere else. So yeah,
As well up there with the capability.
10 out of 10 for me. I've proved it for
It's
the
up,
point.
it's up there with the best.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I've actually gone out and sold my other rods to purchase a pair of these, and this is what I'll be using for my fishing now. So that's, for me, that says it all. And you know, we obviously I've done that, like, you know what I mean. So
You know, for you
we're
to
gonna-
leg over SUs. That's,
yeah, because for me, it's for my SUs, with my pride and joys. You know what I mean? I've had some phenomenal fish on there over the years, and yeah, well, it's sad to see them go. But I'm getting older. I wanted something much lighter. I want something. Yeah, you hold that compared to the SUs.
Yeah, it's crazy,
It's a lot
isn't it?
thinner, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a lovely rod. But that is the big boy of the series. We're going to go on to the XT435 Light Extreme Tournament now. Adam's going to go through this because I've not actually yet cast this rod. So this is something a bit different for me. So we'll get him set up and we'll move on again. So then, Mr. Slack, what we got here then?
Well, this is the next one down from the other one. This is the XT. This is the XT Lite. This
Yeah.
is the one I've had for 3 months now.
Yeah.
This is the one I've been using a lot as well, and I've been getting on really well with this one.
So what's
This is-
suited gram wise?
This is for 220 grams,
right.
so it's not a soft rod.
No.
Again, it is rated higher than what a 427 is,
Yeah.
because they're rated to 200.
Yeah.
This is 220. That's
Yeah.
300.
What type of fishing would you recommend that for?
I would use this for every type of fishing. Again, it's
Chisel.
Chesil,
Bristol
channel.
channel.
Yeah, it's designed for it. It's just different.
What would you say that's similar to if you had to put it to another rod?
Oh, you put me on the spot now, haven't you?
You've got an audience walking past, he's got all of it.
I would say that this is it is a stiffer version of Century Sea Curve, Excalibur Sea Curve.
Yeah,
It's a stiffer version of that.
right.
Which again, you know, I had a couple of chucks with Wayne's Sea Curve years ago, and that was a really good rod. You know, that one pinged over 300 yards. It's just a point that you don't have to go for the stiffest rod on the market to get good distances. This is a very easy loading rod. It's extremely fast recovery. I mean, you'll see it in a minute. It is unbelievable.
Sea curves are a lot more easier
yeah,
to bend.
They're a lot
and
easier to
charge,
load. They're a
yeah.
lot easier to cast, but they're still quite a pokey rod. Just because the midsection is probably not as beefy as that one.
Yeah, if someone, obviously, I know Adam's talking about casting a lot. The point I was trying to make is for a lot of guys, what obviously aren't interested in the casting, they would just want to go fishing and stuff like that. Having this technology in the rods with different C curves and J curves and that make it easier for you to fish with. I mean, if you will fish in venues, and at the end of the day, a lot of people want distance, and sometimes people don't want to go out and get casting lessons and stuff like that. They just want to get on with their fishing. And having the rods like the C curve range enable them to get the baits out further than they would with just a basic overhead front with where you would use a J curve rod. For J curve rod, obviously, it depends what type of fishing and what you want to do with your fishing, really. But for anybody who wants to go fishing and don't want to enjoy catching fish and stuff like that, and they want the easiness of that, the C curve rod range, I would recommend.
Yeah. I mean, this will do all the types of fishing that one will do.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. You know, you could quite easily take this skate fishing. And to be honest, you might find that, well, friend Matt used to tell me this. He used to say that, you know, when you go after like the big fish, sometimes the softer rod is actually comfier with the bigger fish because the rod's compressed over. The rod is doing the work and not your back.
I remember Matt saying to us they had it on some pressure thing, didn't they? They had a rod, and they basically the power they could generate off the rod just by pull was a lot greater than they could off a J curve rod. And the reason being, on the C curve rod, the rod it's like a catapult basically, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Where you've got a stiff catapult and you can only pull it back to that far. Where if you've got a lot lesser catapult, you could pull it probably that. It's going to generate more power and more speed, and in theory, go a lot further.
We proved it with the Highlanders that you could actually put more pressure on the line with the Highlander than you can with an SU because you can lean into it, and
that's the difference between the C curve and the J rod.
Yeah, or just in rods in general. You know, you don't have to have the stiffest rod on the market.
No,
to cast.
No,
so, but this is
it depends what you want it for. And if you're fishing off of rocks a lot, then I would recommend a J curve because you've got a lot more pulling power in the midsection. What's going to take up and hold fish?
Absolutely.
Whereas a C curve, if you're fishing off a rock at height with a large eel on, and you're holding it like that, the C curve rod's going right over. Where, you know, for me and you, in fishing down in rough conditions of rays, you're holding the fish up. Where obviously
but this is different. This rod.
You think?
Yeah, I'll guarantee it in a minute. You'll see what I'm on about when you have a go of it,
right.
Or when you wind in. This doesn't bend, mate.
Doesn't it?
No. You'll be surprised with this. It is different to a J curve. I quite like it to cast with. I've always liked I like C curve rods.
Big fan
just because you know they do compress really well.
Yeah.
And as long as you get a real fast recovery on them at the end there, and you don't get the over recovery, then you've got a winner there. And that's what I found with this one. I've had it on the beach a couple of times now, some friends, and they've got on really well with it as well, straight off the bag. So and I said I took it to Wales, fishing with Geff there, and Finnan, they loved it. His dad Mark, they loved it. So
nice.
Even Dean and Darren, they had a play of it up there. Yeah. They loved it as well. So. You know.
For me then, so likeness of the rod, it's very similar to the 435 Big Boy. Very similar. It's a little bit smaller diameter.
You can really hit this though.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit lighter. Right, I'm gonna have a chuck. Let's see what Adam's all about then. Go on then. What lead have I got on there now?
You got a 6 ounce on that one.
6 ounce lead. Let's get into it. You look what he done then, how effortless, he just cast that over his shoulder and the rod charged and sent it out a long way. It's surprising, isn't it? And that's just using the rod to do, that's exactly the same as what I was talking about before. For anybody who's just starting off fishing and stuff like that, I would recommend going for a C curve rod. Because it's just it's an easier, the rod's doing the work for you. Where you start going into heavier and bigger rods, it's more about getting into the midsection and using your casting abilities to get into that midsection to make it go a long way. Where Adam's just shown that today. Now Adam just cast that one time and he went further than he did the other rods. It's surprising, isn't it?
It's because you can load the rod
easier.
easier.
It's because loading the rod easier. But it's a question we get asked a lot. What rods do you recommend for? I remember a guy saying to me before, I see you use the M427s. I just bought a pair, and I was like, what'd you do that for? And he said, because they look really nice in that. And I was like, mate, a hell of a big rod to use for the type of fishing you were doing. I think he lived up near Blackpool, if I believe, at the same time. But I think he kept them for about 6 months and sold them. They're brand new. But if he had said to me beforehand what he wanted them for, I would have said, mate, I wouldn't recommend going for that type of rod. I'd recommend maybe going for like whatever rod, a glass tip rod or whatever rod would be recommended. You've got to look at what type of fishing you're doing at the end of the day. Obviously, where we are on our neck of the woods, a lot of the fishing is rock fishing, and that's why I like that type of rod. It's not just that. It's for me. I like to be able to load the rod and feel the rod in, and it feels slightly different with a J curve rod to the C curve rod. Where Adam, I don't think it matters what the rod is. He just likes the rod. Gef's down. I don't know what he's doing now. Rock pooling. Getting his feet wet.
After a raft.
Right, Adam's going to have another blast on this rod. I'll have another little cast, and then we will go to our verdict and yeah, go through a bit more about the prices of the rod and stuff like that, where you can get hold of them. I think there's a new shop which has just opened in Wales. What's it called?
Bait to go.
Bait to go. I think they have the rods in store to purchase now, and they're available off the Zulcron website as well. So get Adam to cast this one out, and then we'll have a little chat, and we'll leave you to a lovely day. Nice, very, very nice. We've got like a big yellow boy out in front of us, and we were both gone past that a minute ago, and then he's gone out past that again now with that rod. So let's have a look, shall we? See what they're telling me. So I know it's going to be a question everybody's going to ask. So all the website details for the Zulcron website will be available on the end of the start of the video. So they do a few different rods in the range. They do the Zulcron match rod, which is priced at 280 quid. They've done the Zulcron match light, which is retailed at 269.99. It's a 13'9", 24 mil parallel butt section.
I've got that here.
That's the K-Wags, is it?
Yeah, it's there.
So we'll have a look at that one in a minute. And then they've got the Zulcron XT435 blank, which is 300 quid. So, to be fair, like what I've just done, 800 quid, and you've got an exceptional bit of kit. Not necessarily everybody should go for the rough ground versions, depending on what sort of fishing you want, as we just said before, but very nice rods, and I've got rods for everything now. You know what I mean? Beforehand I've got like loads of different rods in the corner. I've got rid of all those rods now. I've got one set of rods which I can use for everything, which I'm happy about. Some jet skiers out in the distance. Adam's going to have his last cast, and then we're going to go on to the other rod. The boy's about 230 yards out, and we're both hammering past on the buoy of that there. So that rod there, then that was probably, I don't know, what do you reckon, Gav? 250,
Yeah,
260,
boy.
yeah, 250 roughly. That's with the stand. That's not even with the casting rig. I think with a casting reel, you put a casting rod off him at the moment. He's probably a little bit rusty, but I'd probably say he's hitting like 270s, 280s. What were you hitting last time you went casting?
70s, I think.
Yeah, 270s. It's not bad, is it?
70s, 280s.
Yeah, 280s.
I don't know.
He looks a bit rusty as well.
You're rusty.
Right, so what we'll do, we're going to go over and have a look at the other little rod now. What is that one there, Ads?
This is a match light.
This is a match light. We're going to have a look now. What's that? What's the casting weight on that?
185
Is it?
grams.
Recommended beach fishing type of thing,
Yeah,
is it? Yeah. Nice
nice
little beach rods for all you beach lovers. So we're going to have a look. Right guys, right, I'm just going to show you how easy it is to cast this rod. I'm just literally going to have a very short drop, right? No technique with the cast or anything like that at all. Just lay it around just to show you the capabilities of this rod. Right, that's gone well over 200 yards. We've just, I didn't do nothing then, did I? I literally put that rod over my head and just hit it, right? No worrying about technique with the lead, just basically doing an overhead thump fishing cast, and that's just took that lead well over 200 yards, right? And that is not me doing that, that is the rod doing that. That's what a lot of people over the years said to me, what rods do I get? What do you recommend? I'll see you use that and that. The reason I use the rods I use is because of the specific type of fishing I'm doing, and for me I like to be able to be in control of winding the lead up. There is times where you obviously you're restricted to casting and that, and to be fair, a lot of the big blonde marks we go to down on the South Devon coastline, and I think Adam would agree, this rod would be perfect for that, because this would handle 20-pound blondes all day long, and you don't need no room to wind it up. I mean, I could put a sand deal on that and a lead, and I'll tell you what, I could hammer that to the horizon. Where, I'm not being funny, some of them, like even that the big boy version, that you would have to try and wind it up. And like, there's specific marks down there where you haven't got the room to wind it up. It's a layback cast. You're just trying to like literally overhead thump it. Very, very nice rod, and I take everything I've ever said back about C-curve rods. That is a bit of kit, I've got to be honest. I like that much, I might get a pair of these. I mean, I've got to be honest, there is a mark in particular, and I think Adam would know exactly where I'm on about, where you've got no room at all, and you literally like turn around and you're trying to cast. We're tight back against rocks, and for this, it'd be perfect. I've got a little small drop, sand deal bait, lead, whacks the horizon, I'm out in the tide line, and it's big enough to cope with exactly what I want it to cope with, 20-pound blondes. Hell of a bit of kit, hell of a bit of kit. Well, 435 light. I'll let Adam start off.
Told you.
I take everything I've ever said back about C-curve rods. I've not been a C-curve rod lover.
They are lovely rods, aren't they?
That there, then,
how easy is it?
it's lovely. I've got to be honest, I wasn't expecting that at all. I've gone for the big boy versions, and I'm glad I have, because of the type of fishing I do. But that there, I will get a pair of them, I promise you. I will buy a pair of them, and the reason I'll buy a pair of them is anywhere you've got tight, there's a lot of marks, which I don't know what it's like in your coastline, Gaff.
It's lovely.
Yeah, you've got plenty of room to cast everywhere, really, haven't you?
Even on the reef marks.
In the mark, there's always, yeah.
It's lovely.
But on a lot of our coastlines, you're up and down cliff faces, and you're very tight, and there's a lot of places where you can't cast, is it?
No, you're up against the
I
wall.
struggle.
Yeah.
You've got to, like, when you're pendulum casting, you've got to like lower your drop and stuff like that. That's why Adam likes the layback cast, because it's side casting and as you sweep them through. Where that there, I could literally give it a 2-foot drop, and I could send that bait. Well, I hit that lead then well over 200 yards, right? And I didn't have no technique at all. I literally let the lead go behind there, let the lead come down, and I just hit it with all my body weight, and it just went over 200 yards.
Yeah.
Probably one of the better casts of the day with that.
And it's because you can press the rod.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly what it is
about. That's all you got. That's all what it's about. You've got to be able to compress it. If you can't bend it, you won't send it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, those other ones, the XTs there.
Well,
I do love them. They are fun.
What's the time now? Oh,
it's 11.
11 o'clock. I reckon if we stay down over 5, we'll get you bending that.
No, yeah, but no, those other ones are. I really like them other ones.
I like the other. That's what I went from. I fell in love with straight away.
Yeah.
But I'm very surprised with that, because
it's easier.
If I was going to specific marks, I would pick that up every time, because on the you need
This
sideline.
would be your go-to rod, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for that mark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know
because
you mean.
specifically, you want to be in that tide line. If you're not in that tide line, you're not getting the fish. And sometimes that tide line is well over 200 yards out. And you know that there will put a bait out straight away where you would struggle not to be able to compress that rod down there. Where that there is charging. And we've had it. I've had it. As I said before, you get a lot of questions over the years coming through. People saying, why are you using that rod? I want to get that rod. And it's not that we're using that type of rod. Now, what I would recommend to anybody when you're fishing is get a rod what is suitable to the type of fishing you're doing. Now, Geff, he's got 3 different types of rods. He's got glass tip rods, he's got main rods for like around raying and stuff and tope fishing and stuff around Wales, and then he's got skate rods, what he uses that. He's got 3 different types of rod there, you know what I mean? Adam's got about 7 or 8, you've probably got about 12 different pairs of rods. You don't get rid of nothing, where I've got one specific type of rod now. I've got rid of my rods and I've got those ones there, and they'll do everything I want to do with place fish and everything, but I've just fell in love with them.
To be honest, these are going to be my go-to rod. All them. I'll probably get a pair of each. To be honest
the trouble is that for me, and you've got SUs as well, they were the thing for the past in my eyes. They're very heavy and stuff like. With the technology, it's the same with everything, isn't it? TVs. Look at TVs. Many years ago, they had big boxes on the back of them. You look at TV now. I was watching one the other day, and it was like that thin. Unreal, over $3,000. But you look at this, the technology with rods and that as well now. How light they can make them, how thin they can make them, and how much power they can still charge.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And I'm not being funny. It's hell of a lot of rod for that money. A hell of a lot of rod for that money. And to be honest, it's up there with the best of them.
Yeah.
In my eyes, 100%.
And like you say earlier, you know, if you want to have a go on one, I've got this one at home. You're more than welcome to have a go on it.
Anybody who's looking, what I would do is we'll let some messages come through. And we'll get back to whoever wants to do it, and it's just local lads, right? And what we'll do is one Sunday we'll sort out a day, and they can come down, and we'll either come down to somewhere around here or go down somewhere, and we'll bring the rods down, and people can try them. So I've got those ones there anyway. Adam's got that one there, and he's got the match version. So if you're a beach fisherman and stuff like that, and that way you're able to test rods. There's not many places to do it, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I've always been the same. People say, "Oh, can I have a go with the SU?" I've had a couple of guys come down and use my SUs before just to try them out. Same years ago with the Primo Synchro and the HST. But in the shop, you can't do that.
No.
You know what I mean? And when you go in to buy it, but if anybody is up the line in that and looking to try it, obviously get hold of Jay Lee, the owner. If there's casting events, I'm sure someone will have a rod there for you to try. But if you're looking to increase your distance, that is the rod to go to. If you're looking to not learn to cast, you just want to get a bit more thing of that and overhead thumb, that is a hell of a bit of kit for the money. Hell of a bit of kit for the money. Yeah. I didn't think I was going to like it. You know what I mean, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I've just
I'm not just saying that.
I'm not just saying that.
It's genuinely a really nice rod. Like I said earlier, it's done just under 300 yards already without the right conditions, you know.
Yeah.
So what does that say about it straight away?
Yeah.
That's up there with the best already.
Very, very nice. There's me getting rid of rods. I can get more now.
Like I say, you can pick them up from the website, can't you?
Yeah, they're available. There's a few retailers.
And bait to go in Wales. They got them there. Yeah. Nowhere else down there sells them yet, do they?
No,
so
I would recommend to go to the website. If I'm honest.
Or if you're in Wales, go see Jason, isn't it?
Yeah, Jason.
Getting that sorted out.
But definitely look at something to definitely look at because that is an up and coming brand. What in a few years' time will be where some of the likelihoods of the best of the best Century and Ziplex are now, and it is elevated.
Well, they're up there.
It's there. You've got the technology in the rod build of what in a rod, in a much lighter rod, because I don't think from some of the rods that I've used, they're nowhere near as light as that.
No, that's silly.
It's crazy.
Very nice.
And the big one is.
Yeah. And I know the technology and the development of what have gone into these rods have been phenomenal. Like, you know what I mean? They've literally smashed them and tried to break them, and
this is the finished
they've
product.
gone through heartache to find the end product, and I think with what the end product is a very good accomplishment, especially in the everyday of sea angling. At the end of the day, we're all looking for quality, but we're always looking at it for a right price, and for that sort of gear for the money is phenomenal.
Yeah, and there's a chance of a glass tip coming through.
Yeah, glass tip version.
You'll have a version of a T9 in these. So that's worth looking into soon, isn't it? And
so you could basically buy an extra tip to go on
to go into that one, I think.
Mine.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. It'll go straight in.
So there you go. So we knew that's ideal. That is it. I just got to get another tip. I got a glass tip for it then. But that's nice to see, isn't it? Nice to see.
Yeah.
But really nice design. Really nice builds on them. Very nice. It's just
Well done, Jay and Max.
Yeah, well done. Well done. We're going to go and have a look at this beach version now. and then we're going to go and get some dinner. But we'll have a look at this beach rod, and then we'll see you guys in a minute. Right, Zulcron Match Light. Here we go. Quite whippy for it. That's going to suit someone. Perfect match angler's tool, that is. Someone's fishing like the likes of Chesil and like general beaches and stuff like that. That's very, very light. It's quite pokey ads for it, isn't it? Yeah. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it's nice. That's a full 112 Zulcron match light. I'll let Adam wind him up then, just so we're let Geff have a cast. Geff and Durham match light. Well then guys, unfortunately Adam's not going to get a chance to cast. There's a load of kayakers that's just turned up in front of us, and for safety reasons it's got to come to an end. But yeah, very surprised with the sea curve rod. Definitely on my bucket list. And yeah, to be honest, the Zulcron, Geff's going to come on in here now. Come on in with that rod a minute, Matt. What did you think of that? It's it's a nice, perfect beach rod, isn't it? Placing, stuff like that. Full 112 Zulcron match. Cast 180 grams, and it is 13 foot 5 inches long. It's
clean ground.
Yeah, it's perfect clean ground rod, really. To be honest, it's yeah, perfect. Bass fishing and stuff like that as well.
Nice tip on it as well, no?
Yeah, really nice tip on it. But that is us from for the day. We're going to go into Torquay now and have a bite to eat, and yeah, it's been a bit of pleasure really. It's been nice to get out and have a few casts and stuff. But for anybody who's looking to purchase any of these rods, check out the Zulcron website, and obviously there's Jason at Baits to Go over in Wales. They're one of the retails in Wales as well for them. So yeah, hope you all have a good weekend. Catch you all later.